It was just a matter of time before I was found out. The apple may not have fallen far from the tree, but I was certainly no lawyer. A name? I had to give her a name, or the jig was up, something she could hang her hat on. It's Vice, Vice, baby. It's Vice. Vice, baby.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, beautiful people. Welcome back to part two of the Endurance Maritime Monday and Lego Endurance Build Along stuff. This will be a significantly shorter than part one because we have about, well, it says we have 30 minutes left of the video, but with the actual coverage, probably 20 minutes, I'll say. I don't know, but we'll see. Melissa. Hello, hello. I missed part one, but happy to be here for part two. Always welcome. And Flux. Not even first. How dare. D what? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. And Uncle Buck. How are ya? David Nelson. Caught a long time no see. It has been a long time. It has been a long time. And Aaron. Well, as Aaron said, let's do it. Same thing as part one. If I miss people, I apologize. I'll be either focusing on listening or building. Sally Biscoff. Hello. I was there live for the stream. Uncle Buck was two. Can't believe it was 2.5 years ago. Nice. But I will lower my camera and start the show right where we left off.
Above them, the hill was green with tussock grass, the first vegetation they had seen in 17 months. McNish recalled,
I went on top of the hill and had a lay on the grass, and it put me in mind of old times at home, sitting on the hillside, looking down at the sea.
Welcome back, Winterstorm.
Damn Dick and Jane. Joe wins.
suddenly, home, rescue seemed possible. There was only one catch. The whaling station.
Speaking of Joe Choi's super chat, I hope she's doing good. Hopefully she'll show up soon. We're all waiting.
Lay on the opposite side of the island.
Shit.
Neither crew nor boat were fit for another sea journey. The island would have to be crossed on foot.
It was a terrible setback. I think that most men, under those circumstances, without Shackleton's leadership, they might have collapsed morally there, and therefore not survived. He took it all in a very matter-of-fact way. He gave the impression that everything would be all right in the end.
Their single map showed only the island's coastline. The interior was unknown. Icy and forbidding, prey to sudden blizzards and hurricane-force winds, the whalers considered it impenetrable. This chaos of peaks and glaciers had never been crossed.
Jeez.
They had just survived 17 days at sea, and their feet were still numb from frostbite. But if rescue were to be made, they had to reach the other side. Shackleton decided to take with him Crean and Worsley, leaving behind the other men who were not fit for the journey.
Now he's leaving another group behind.
Yeah, so Erin, she actually made a post on her YouTube channel, her little YouTube page, saying that, yeah, like Uncle Buck says, she processes stuff differently, but she hopes that she will pop up in chat soon. So we'll just all have to be patient and wait for her. And if she does, welcome her with open arms.
Now they're in three
Using
different
screws
places.
from the caird, McNish improvised climbing boots. The frost of night would harden the snow, making it easier to cross. But there could be no stopping, or they would succumb to the cold. They were in a race for their companions' lives. Too weak to carry anything but bare necessities, the three men took a length of rope and a carpenter's adze as their only equipment. Taking advantage of the full moon and calm weather, they set out at 3 a.m. for Stromness whaling station. Beneath the deceptive blanketing of snow lay ice fields pitted with crevasses. One misstep could end in death. As the day grew longer, they struggled through a bewildering confusion of ridges and plateaus.
They have to walk across that. No one has ever done this before at
Time
night.
after time, they would ascend a summit, only to find a precipice on the other side.
With arms wide open, welcome Joe Troy. Who my chat? With arms wide open. Sorry, not related to this thing at all.
Jillian N says, I did capitalize it, yet no dick allowed. YouTube is a bar for ladies who enjoy other ladies. Also seems to be certain L word is a no-go.
We had done little walking since January, and our muscles were out of tune.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
By evening, they were again high on a treacherous pass, too steep to climb down.
Well, an
It
extrication
was
is
of the utmost importance for us to get down into the next valley before dark. The night temperature at that elevation would be very low. We had no sleeping bags.
an extrication in a non-dick related super chat. Thank you for the
Worsley
first
recorded.
one. You'd ever watch the PBS
Shackleton
documentary
said,
Storm over Everest?
We've got to take a risk. Are you game?
Not
we'll
a
slide.
Oh, Jesus.
Coiling their rope into a
Not
pad,
maritime, but an
they
amazing
sat down,
story. Highly
then pushed
recommend.
off,
If you want to
not knowing
watch
what rocks or
Discovery Disaster.
razor-sharp ice lay in their path.
We seemed to shoot into space. Quite suddenly, I felt a glow and knew that I was grinning. We finished up at the bottom, in a bank of snow. We picked ourselves up and solemnly shook hands all round.
Jesus. And Flex says lesbians. Maybe it's a weird YouTube thing. Why can I say all of this? Lol. Can we stop talking about dicks and lesbians during this, please? No, just kidding.
Hello, Equality. Welcome, welcome.
That's the only super
All
chats I'm
night
getting.
into early morning, they marched on.
Continue with your lesbians and dicks.
Wrote Shackleton,
At 5 a.m., we were at the foot of the rocky spurs of the range. We were tired, and wind that blew down from the heights was chilling us. I thought we might be able to keep warm and have a rest. Within minutes, my two companions were asleep.
No, please, lesbian and dick away. It's getting super chats. Well, the non-maritime chats. Well, it's a truly fantastic story. Holy cow. They woke up.
I realized it would be disastrous if we all slumbered together. For sleep under such conditions merges into death. After 5 minutes, I shook them into consciousness again, told them they'd slept for half an hour, and gave the word for a fresh start.
Yeah. Get up, you lazy fucks. You guys are useless. You'd never have done anything with your life. Let's go. God, these guys are just amazing. I mean, that's a stupid
by
word to say.
6:30
Amazing.
a.m., they had
but
climbed a ridge that looked down upon a site familiar from a year and a half earlier. Fortuna Bay. Stromness was around the corner. At 3 in the afternoon on May 20th, Shackleton, Worsley and Crean stumbled into Stromness Station. They had been marching for 36 hours. At the home of Thorolf Surley, the station manager, they knocked on the door.
hello.
"Who the hell are you?" Surley reportedly asked. "My name is Shackleton," came the answer.
The waiting manager couldn't recognize them because they were dirty, emaciated. They were soot grimed because of living over blubber stoves for so long. Their clothes were filthy. Their hair was uncut. They were like men returning from the dead.
Quite literally.
That night, the weather turned. Lying in bed in the manager's house, Shackleton listened to snow drive against the window. Had they been caught in a blizzard, nothing could have saved them. Years later, Shackleton would give a mystical account of the crossing of South Georgia.
I know that during that long and racking march of 36 hours over the unnamed mountains and glaciers of South Georgia, it seemed to me often that we were 4, not 3. I said nothing to my companions, but afterwards Worsley said to me, "Boss, I had a curious feeling that there was another person with us."
Aaron, you'll find out. Just wait.
The fourth man, I suppose, was the man above. They must be deeply religious at the back of everything. They must.
That was the worst closed captioning I've ever seen.
3 days after arriving in Stromness, Shackleton, Worsley and Crean set out for Elephant Island in a borrowed ship.
But it's not over
Their
yet.
3 companions back at King Haakon Bay were given passages home. 60 miles short of the island, the rescue ship was brought to a halt by their old enemy, ice. There was nothing to do but return.
Rescue attempt failed.
Shackleton made increasingly frantic attempts to get through to his men on Elephant Island. At last, in late August, the Chilean government loaned him a small tug called the Yelcho, and Shackleton, Worsley and Crean set out on their fourth rescue attempt.
3 rescue attempts failed.
Elephant Island. The rescue party was now at least 10 weeks overdue. In his diary, Ord-Lees wrote,
August 26th, 1916. Another wretched day. Very dull and draining. What little seal meat we have left is tainted, for we've picked it over so often that nothing but the most decomposed remains.
The 22 men had passed a sunless winter living in a small hut made from the overturned boats.
22 of us lived in a tiny, dark little hut. The weather was just appalling. Blizzards and snowstorms almost the whole time. The great difficulties, of course, was lack of water. There was plenty of frozen water all around, but you can't suck ice at those temperatures. If you do, it blisters your lips and your tongue as though you'd sucked a piece of red-hot iron. So we used to take a few chips of ice in our sleeping bags with us at night in an old tobacco tin. And if you lay very still all night, a few of those chips would melt and you'd have about a teaspoonful of water for your breakfast in the morning.
Just imagine that. A teaspoon of water for breakfast a day. And you'd rather just bite on a red hot iron than the ice. That's how cold that was. Just imagining that is stupid. I Yeah, like I said in the previous part, and like Dad said as well, either we self-delete or we piss off people just enough that they'll delete us.
Of course, food was very short. We had very little except a little seal and penguin whenever they came up. And Marston, who was with us, had a little penny cookery book from which he used to read one recipe per night. We all lay around very quietly and very solemnly, suggesting in turns improvements and alterations. Then when the last man had finished, we went to sleep dreaming of the second helpings we'd refused when we
Tammy, hello, how are you doing?
were back home. You know, it's difficult to realize how hungry a man can be. When we'd eaten our rations and such seals and penguins as we could catch, then, without any enmity, we looked at one another.
Wow.
Each day, Wilde roused the company from their bags with the cry, "Lash up and stow, the bus may come today." But by the end of August, even Wilde had given up hope that Shackleton would return. Ord-Lees summarized the situation.
The idea of a ship ever coming now is getting more and more.
Xterra, do I want to know what a Chilly Willy is? Because that sounds sketchy. I don't know.
More remote, as preparations are being pushed along for sending one of our 2 boats. Wilde and 4 other members are to go in the Dudley Docker and will make their way from island to island of the South Shetlands until they reach Deception Island, about 250 miles away. It is a big undertaking.
On August 30th, 1916, the men were gathered in their hut for a lunch
Okay. I'm glad it's a penguin because I had a very different image in my head because it's always in the gutter.
of boiled seal backbone. Marston and Hurley remained outside, shelling limpets picked in the shallows. Suddenly, Marston put his head inside the hut. Macklin recalled.
Marston burst in asking if it would not be a good thing to send up smoke. Wilde called out to know what was the matter, and Marston replied with the magic words, "A ship!"
Wow. Can you imagine
From the deck of the
feeling?
Yelcho, Shackleton scanned Cape Wild through binoculars, counting the figure.
Iris, hello. Yeah. With the way they've been surviving and finally find a ship, yeah, that would have been. I guess we can't really describe how they would have felt because honestly, we would never experience that ever.
Who
Hello, Melly.
poured out of the hut onto the beach. Frank Worsley recalled.
2, 5, 7, and then an exultant shout. They're all there, Skipper. They're all safe.
Every one of those motherfuckers survived. That's how
Green
much of a badass
We
Shackleton
were
was.
all unable to speak.
He didn't lose a single fucking man through that entire 2-year journey. That's a fucking man. That is some balls there.
And of course, we're back to the balls.
All hands were safe. Not one life had been lost.
Whew. That's fucking
An ecstatic
incredible.
welcome greeted Shackleton in Punta Arenas. Although Germany was at war with Britain, the German community raised flags of celebration.
I have not thrown any Legos so far because, well, actually, I'm trying to be very careful with this one because if I do drop and it shatters, I will burn the Legos with the box.
The crew of the Endurance returned to a British nation that little resembled the one they had left 2 years before.
When Shackleton and his men had left England, the Great War had just started, and their minds were still in Edwardian England. But when they returned to civilization now, they'd entered the modern world, and the war, as it turned out, was beyond their comprehension. And
You survived for 2
because
years
of
to
dreadful
come to
carnage
this.
on the battlefields in Europe, Shackleton rather disappeared. And in any case, he was the wrong kind of hero for England at the time. The British wanted dead heroes, and they had lots and lots of dead heroes.
Humans are so effing cool. Right, Printer God?
I suspect in 1918 the death of so many people in the trenches in the war made them feel that they had been, I could have said, nearly cowards, that they avoided 2 years of the war and they were lucky to be alive.
See, and after they survived all of that, they felt like
Most of the men
cowards
entered
because
the
they weren't in the
war on their
war.
return.
So they all went to the war, yeah.
Frank Hurley went off to photograph the fighting in the trenches. Tim McCarthy would be killed at sea 6 weeks after enlisting.
Jesus.
McNish emigrated to New Zealand, working on the docks before suffering a crippling injury. Most members of the expedition were awarded the Polar Medal, but Shackleton withheld this honor from McNish and 3 others. The Carpenter's brief rebellion on the ice had cost him dearly.
He said he would remember the Carpenter. And he did. But why didn't the other 2 guys get the medal, I wonder?
As Shackleton had known, the Endurance expedition had been his last chance at glory. In 1921, he headed south once more, joined by a handful of the old Endurance crew: Worsley, Macklin, Green, Hussey, and Frank Wilde.
They went back for another expedition.
The goal of the expedition was unclear. All that mattered was that they were heading south again.
After they survived that, they went back for
On
another
the evening
expedition.
of his arrival in South Georgia, Shackleton had a heart attack and died. He was not quite 48 years old. At the request...
Did he really say 48? Jeez. He was young. That's crazy. Hello, Bridget. Wow, I thought they would be like way, way older. But 48? That is crazy.
of his wife, his men buried him in the island's small whaling cemetery.
He's 5 years younger than me when he died, and I'm fucking useless. Jesus. Yeah, could you have done this? I couldn't.
Shackleton's men continued their uncertain expedition. Along the way, they took time to visit a place they never thought they would see again: Elephant Island. The expedition photographer recorded their visit. Confronting the sight of their dark winter, they were overcome with unexpected nostalgia. Macklin.
We have stood gazing with binoculars, picking out and recognizing old familiar spots. Ah, what memories. What memories. They rush to one like a great flood and bring tears to one's eyes. And as I sit and try to write, a great rush of feeling comes over me and I find I cannot express myself. Once more I see the old faces and hear the old voices. Old friends scattered everywhere. But to express it all, I feel, is impossible.
Grifter Wannabe says, now
Wait. Winterstorm, you trade me with... Wait, trade Dad with me, so you'd rather me be gone and Dad still... Well, you know what? Yeah. You know what? I would do that too.
I realize why Shackleton tried so many times to get to the South Pole. He needed to get his fix for dogs.
In his memoir. We had seen God in his splendors, heard the text that nature renders. We had reached the naked soul of man.
Wow. So there you have it. The long story of Shackleton's expedition on the Endurance. Not a single person died on that. That is... there's not even really a word to describe what that was. I mean, that's just insane. That's just crazy. That guy got all... Was it 26 people, 27 people back? 26 people, I think it was, back without a single person dying. Like I said, I know I've said it before, and I'm saying they just don't make people like that. I mean, like I said, I'm 53, 5 years older than he was when he died. I'm useless. Execution says, I'm 40 and I had a heart
Hello, Danielle. Welcome, welcome.
attack in May this year and survived. Ew. The wrong people die. Nah, you made it. That's the important thing. Thanks for the super chat. Ugh. Hunch the Dirty Roofer, long time no see. Thanks so much for the super chat. God had to take him early. He knew the world couldn't handle a man with cojones the size of Range Rovers. Right? I mean, God. I told you guys 2 weeks ago, this story is you couldn't make a movie like this. If you made a movie where all of these things happened, getting stuck in the ice, having to stay there over a winter in the pitch blackness for months and months, losing the ship just days, perhaps weeks before you could leave, then having to walk across the island while it's rotating, and then you have to take a boat to some island you can't get there because of the wind, so you have to go to some other stupid island you didn't want, and then you have to split up while some guy takes a makeshift sailboat that he just made 800 miles through the most dangerous waters on planet Earth through 2 hurricanes to get where he's going, and then they have to climb over 1,000-foot cliffs and march for 2.5 days to get to a day and a half to get to a base camp, and then make 4 rescue attempts to get the guys and not lose one. People would walk out of that damn theater halfway through that movie just claiming utter BS, because you wouldn't buy that if it was fiction. Yeah, it would make an incredible movie. But like I said, if you couldn't write this, because you would be ashamed, you'd be like, okay, this is just too over the top, and nobody would watch it. Yeah, navigating with a watch and a sextant where you can only take 4 readings during this entire 17-day sailing through 2 hurricanes. Yeah, Liam Neeson should star in it now. Fortunately, he's too old. He's way older than 48. And that's when he died. He was like in his mid-40s, mid to early 40s when he started, when Shackleton started this expedition. Man, I mean, that is just a phenomenal story. And like I said, I wanted to share it with you. I know we usually only do 1 week things. And so we just kind of gave the Reader's Digest condensed version last week, but there was this, and this needed to happen. You guys needed to see this. I wanted to share this with you, regardless of whether or not YouTube pulls the plug on the demonetization. And I put a link in the chat where the original video is in the original channel. Go visit this guy's channel. He's got some great videos there. And this is just one of them. So if you ever happen to watch this, wonder who the hell is copying your video, it's me, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it. Flux, thank you so much for perhaps the last super chat. The truth is often stranger than... Yeah, we don't need that to happen. Hello? Hello, there we are. We're back. That was weird. Yep. What you just saw there, perchance, was me bringing up the video for the next stream, which is Law and Crime. Law and Crime's video always makes us buffer. He said, we watched this whole entire hour and a half, not a single glitch. I bring up the Law and Crime stream for the murder trial we're getting into, and that happened. So it's going to be one of those nights, I guess. It's going to be a buffering night over on Law and Crime. So what's going to happen now? I'm going to end this stream with a sincere thanks to the mods who showed up and stuck through this, even though we started a little bit early today. And thank you to everyone that participated in the chat. You guys are awesome. And thank you so much again for the super chats that came in. We were kind of focused on things other than what was being shown on the screen, but deeply, deeply appreciated nonetheless. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it all. And for those of you just listening in the background as you go about your day or night's work, pleasure to have you here. Please stop in and hit that like button. We didn't get 500 likes yet, but on your way out, right now, in the next 30 seconds, there's a perfect opportunity to reach down there and hit that like button. Do me that favor. Let's get us up over 500 likes so YouTube can be more motivated than usual to get the word of the channel out there. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I would appreciate that as well. So what's going to happen now? We're going to end this, and again, it may or may not work out. Sometimes it does for people, sometimes it doesn't for people. Dump you automatically into my next stream, which starts in 5 minutes. The murder trial of Matthew Terry, who is being charged with murder, and the prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for stabbing his girlfriend lots of times and slitting her throat. The prosecution may be calling an old girlfriend who was also stabbed in the throat by him or later today. And so join me for that. We'll have a fun time. I've invited some people. Hopefully someone will show up to keep me company through the long, dark night of the soul. All righty. Thank you so much. We're up to 480, so we almost got 500. This is your last chance to help an old man out here. 81, 19 more in the next 15 seconds when I'm going to wrap this up again. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Love you all. We'll see you on the flip side. If you don't get dumped automatically into my next stream, just go to Legal Vices, my channel, and click on the live video, and that will get you where you need to go. Until we meet again, there's only 4 of you that need to click that like button to get to 500, so I'll assume there's 2 more. All right, let's just do this. 2 more likes, and then we can end this, and we can go do the next stream. Just 2 more likes. Who's going to be the 2 likes? If you haven't hit that like button, just get down there and smash that like so we get 500. We're out of here. See you all on the flip side. If you don't get there, go to Legal Vices, get back here. Tech to you later. You guys are awesome, and enjoy your legal vices.
Okay. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, where's it? There it is. That, my dear old friends, not calling you guys old, but like, whatever. That was let me bring you guys down here. That was the coverage of the endurance of what? That was the coverage of endurance in Maritime Monday. Thank you, Uncle Buck, for putting that link up. I'll pin that right there. So what I got pinned up right there is the Maritime Monday episodes. It's the playlist. I went on and I went to Dad's account and then I organized all of his playlists so it's from like the very first upload to the latest. So it's all in order on how he streamed. So check it out. It's right there. Stream another one soon, please. You know what? I forgot who said it, and that bothered me that I forgot. But what's up, 3 awesome dogs? Hello. But I forgot who said it, but someone said to stream the Maritime Mondays as and put my opinions in or whatever. Honestly, I might work on this endurance build as we watch Maritime Mondays. How about that? So I can. Ooh, I work night shift now. I can do it in the mornings. Here, how about this? Let's do a quick 2-minute thing. Do-do-do. Just a little quick 2-minute poll. Uh, I will. What time is it? It is 59. So actually, let's do at 02. I will close the poll, and we'll see. This is how we knew Jeff. Happy, funny, super intelligent, enthusiastic, warm, and kind. And kind of guy you wish was older brother or uncle. Well, Uncle Buck, you're the uncle now, so welcome to the family. Those are my Monday morning. Well, there you go. You have 80 to choose from. I got 78 now. That's where it looks great on you, Connor. Thank you. Dakota turns 6 years old tomorrow, doing a birthday stream tomorrow afternoon. Oh, nice. Happy birthday to Dakota. You should play when Jeff, Megan, and Hayden read the Depth versus Herd sidebar. Yeah, probably. We got 1 more minute left. We have 0 no's. I wonder why. Is it surprising that there's no no's? Jeff had the most hilarious voice during the sidebars. His Link voice was so funny. Take the hint? No. I have to make sure, Iris. I have to make sure. You know? Never assume. That's dangerous now. It's 2025. It's dangerous to assume. Plain old tea, give it a whirl. Can't change my vote now? Yeah, I know. Well, there you go. So the time I will do this is I will I'll do I'll start from the beginning. How about that? I'll do the first Maritime Monday video on the playlist and work my way down until I finish the endurance build. So this is what I did so far. This was my build so far that I did during the 4-ish hours. And then I have this. I assume it'll be connected like so. First Maritime Monday was collision videos. Yep. And I actually did watch a few of I think I watched the first 3 Maritime Monday videos. So the time that I will do the Maritime Monday watch party / Lego build will be the same time I do the Saturday morning checkup videos. So that'll be 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 a.m. Central, and 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That will be the plan. I will set those up after I end this stream. Then the last stream of the night of today will be in a few hours. I have not set it up yet, but I have to get some food, do some stuff. I'll have to pre-read the chapters so I know how to pronounce most words that Megan used because she likes to use big words. Hello, Harriet. How are you? So once I'm ready, I will schedule it. You guys will have that usual 30-minute notice. But yeah, um, thank you everyone for joining me in this Lego build. Words are hard, Flux. Words are hard, especially in the morning. So that'll be interesting. What doing Lego while watching Maritime Monday and building Lego. Yeah, I'll struggle. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate every single one of you that joined in this little adventure. make sure to actually, before I leave, let me set up a redirect. Rip all great sea captains. Yes, sir, Zach. Yes, sir. Maritime Monday was an improvisation. He was lost for something to do, and he just pulled up collision footages, but he knew all about it and made it interesting. Yeah. Wim, happy Easter to you too. Alan, replay crew. Is there anyone? Oh, Iris, thank you for the 4.99 super chat. I appreciate you. You know what? I'll send you to Shizzy. How about that? I'll send you to Shizzy. Content. Pew, pew. Oops, wrong button. Where? Why did I forget how to do this? I just had a giant brain fart. Okay. Redirect. Boom. Shizzy. Wiznut. Okay. Why does this have to be so complicated? Shizzy Wiznut. You. And you. 8 p.m. Should be today. Okay, that's why. Everyone's waiting for Shizzy. That's why it didn't work. There. Awesome. Save. Um, got out of here. Sweet. Awesome. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Did I miss anyone? Nope, just everyone saying hi to each other. Awesome. But thank you all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, thank you. And I hope everyone has a good morning, evening, night, wherever you are. Stay wonderful, stay beautiful. I love you guys. I'll see you later. If I don't, then I hope everyone has a beautiful Easter. Love you guys. See you next time.
Well, that's all for this stream, but it's been so sweet. Thanks for hanging with us. It's been a treat. We'll keep it warm, keep it real, take it slow. Catch you next time when the vibes are ready to flow. If you enjoyed the ride, give us a like, subscribe for the warmth. Come back whenever you like. Until then, take it easy. Don't rush, don't hurry. I'll be here waiting. No need to worry. Vice, baby, always by your side. Stay cozy, stay calm, let the good times ride. Peace for now, but we'll meet again. Take care, my friend. Until then.